Alright, I think I actually want to do a more standard builder for this video because I struggle with prepping for rematches, but I just did, and I want to sort of show how I did and sort of explain the team in full as opposed to mon by mon in-game context. I figured this would be a little bit more helpful to those of you who, like me, struggle to find inspiration and build for rematches. This is a bit of a unique case because I did not build my first team for this, but it did have a lot of ideas that I really ended up liking, which makes it kind of challenging when you win, especially the rematch, or the first match. Going into the rematch, you very struggle to know exactly what to change because your opponent's adapting to what they lost to, but you don't really know what exactly you need to adapt to. You just won the game. So there's some interesting play with that. But as you can see, the mons in green are the 6 that Sven decided to bring last time, being Titar, Barascuda, Blaziken, Slowbro Galar, Ditto, and Lurantis. This time around, I think Klefki could be a little bit more likely with like a Magnet Rise set, could potentially try to do something about Mammo, but more importantly, Spikes are kind of annoying for this team. I could see something really cool like a Spikes Imprison Defog set. And then now my Fini, which would be my initial response, can't come in and defog because the Klefki can imprison that and then just get more and more spikes up, which would be kind of an issue for my team. I think Lando might come. It's a Landorus Eye. It's pretty scary. I understand why it didn't come the first time, but I think it should come this second time around. Spectre, I don't know exactly. I think I have very solid Spectre counterplay with Zarudin with Chansey, so I really don't expect it too much. But yeah, that's what I think could come, and what's potential to not come. I think Lurantis could fall off the build. It was pretty good the first time around, but if I expected even more now, I think it becomes even less useful. And then, other than that, I don't really see too much falling off the build. I do think that he will bring a different Galarian Slowbro set. I don't think Quick Draw comes in playoffs. I do think Barascuda should just come choice banded this time around, and I think probably like a Scarf Blaziken would come this time around, but I think the mons themselves will be there. So at the top of my build, I have sets that are pretty much, if not exactly, the same as my first go around, being my Zamazenta, which I believe is the exact same down to the EVs and everything. I experimented with Safeguard over Ice Fang here, just because Safeguard would allow me some more setup options on Lantern, but I ultimately decided against that because Ice Fang provided an OHKO option on Landorus, which I thought was potentially important, although I still do think it's very necessary to scout the Landorus out to make sure that it isn't Choice Scarf if it does end up coming. Because especially if he wants to like go into it to revenge me and scare me out, it's definitely worth scouting. I think it's very necessary to do so. And then the other being the Mamoswine, which is very similar, except I put knockoff over Stealth Rock because I changed up another set and wanted to get rocks on the build somewhere, and I didn't need them on Mamo anymore, so I put knockoff so that he couldn't use Porygon 2 as a counterplay option at all because I could just knock it off and then it doesn't work anymore. And then Earthquake Shard Crash obviously will do the damage that it needs to, but like looking through Mamoswine's moveset, if Klefki were to Magnet Rise, like I guess Heavy Slam would help me hit it, but it's not like the most important thing. Another option that I considered was Facade, but that would be for like Will-O-Wisp Spectre. However, I didn't think I would need that as much because obviously I can't hit the Spectre with Facade. It would be for the other members of the team after I got Wisped, but I was already taking so much chip anyways, I just figured just don't let your Mamoswine get Will-O-Wisped, especially with TAPU FINI having Misty Terrain. I don't even know if that's too likely of a break. Up next, the Zarude set I believe is also the same. I forgot about that one real quick, but we've got Jungle Healing, Whip, Lariat, U-Turn. Does really well, grabs momentum on Klefki, and hits the rest of the team very solidly. And then Jungle Healing obviously gives me the counterplay to a Wisp Spectre. Even though I have the Fini again, I figured that would still possibly be the most likely set, other than like maybe Plot Hyper Beam, but then I can obviously revenge easily after that. It would just be more so with keeping stuff safe throughout the game, and then U-turn obviously for the momentum, because I suppose I could have gone with a ground move, like Stomping Tantrum, that would hit Klefki and Blaziken, but I figured the U-turn would provide safer mid-grounds and allow me some momentum options, which I thought were kind of important. U-turn's a pretty good crutch for Graph League players. And then, so that's sort of the first half of the team. Now we can get into the second half of the team, being the Mons that had their sets changed pretty drastically. And then we have got one Mon that was not on our build originally. Unfortunately, Basculin was not able to make the cut for playoffs. So spoiler alert, that'll be the Mon that did not come this time around. But the first one, we've got Yuxi. Last time we had Zen Headbutt and Drain Punch, but this time we've got Stealth Rock and Toxic. I figured this would be a bit more utility. I still kept Ice Punch for the nuke on the Landorus. I figured he'll end up, if that thing comes, have a physical way of hitting my Yuxi, like Knockoff and U-turn, as opposed to hitting it with like Sludge Wave and I don't know what else it would hit me with. Psychic, Focus Blast, Resisted, and Earth Power is immune, obviously. I suppose if Gravity went up, that could be kind of scary, but I don't think Gravity is too good into my team. We've got U-turn for momentum, easing predictions. Toxic, I think if I can like bait out a Toxic or on something like Porygon, although Porygon obviously has to be afraid of knockoff, or like even Lurantis or something like that. And then Rocks, I figured would be more consistently going up if I put them on my Yuxi compared to if I put them on my Mamoswine. And then the other set that changed was TAPU FINI, because I did end up ultimately being a little bit afraid of the spikes going up with Klefki, so I put on removal with Defog. I went to Misty Surge because I'm not Rest Hawk anymore, and then I put leftovers on over Helmet, and then I've got Scald, Draining Kiss, Knockoff, and Defog. I figured Knockoff was actually a really pretty solid utility option this game, and then Scald can potentially bait burns, especially if I'm defogging away the terrain, Draining Kiss to stay healthy, of course. And then the last Mon that found its way on the build that wasn't there on the initial build was Chandelure with a Choice Scarf. I figured was just a solid revenge killer overall. He doesn't exactly appreciate switching into this thing, because he has T-Tar and Porygon, but if I trick those things, then they become a bit less useful. And actually, Porygon 2 becomes pretty useless in the matchup. He has to click Teleport with it every time if it becomes Scarfed. And then T-Tar, kind of annoying, but it's much easier to like pivot around with like Zarude and stuff like that. So I figured Shandy would be a bit of a good change. I did not... Thundurus was another Mon that I experimented with, but I just didn't end up liking it as much as Chandelure. Dragalge was kind of a thought, and then kind of just ended up being an afterthought. I would have had to bring it, and I would have needed to put Focus Blast on it, probably to hit Klefki, but then obviously Ditto would be kind of annoying being there, and then I don't really pivot into my own Dragalge very well. It was just kind of worrying. Chansey, I figured everything that it would want to check kind of has ways around it, so I didn't end up thinking about it. Basculin did well the first time, but if there's prep for it, it probably won't do as well. And so yeah, that's how I ended up with the build that I've got for the second time around. So I hope you guys enjoy the battle. Coming in 3, 2, 1. Alrighty, NCP playoffs versus Mr. Sventhun. We played in the regular season. This is a rematch, and he brought a similar but different look, it looks like, for playoffs, where he did not bring Ditto and bring Spectre instead, and he did not bring, what else is here that didn't come? I believe the Klefki is here that didn't come in the regular season, and instead, what was it? There was a Barraskewda, and the Barraskewda was actually, in my opinion, the biggest threat to my team. So that not being here is huge already off the bat. Spectre can be kind of scary, but I don't know. In mocks, I've been enjoying leading Zarude and kind of been doing fine with that, so I think I can do that again. Once again, Lurantis is kind of an under prep for threat, but I should be able to pivot better around it with Chandelure this game. And my Chandelure becomes a little bit more expendable because it was there to be able to beat a Ditto that transformed into my Zama, because my Zama is walled by my own Ditto, or my own Chandelure. But once again, we see no Lando. I really did think it would come the second game, but it makes sense that it's not here. And no Barraskewda. I'm still like so shocked about that. What is Sven's card? That's pretty interesting. It's kind of funny. But yeah, hopefully we'll be able to move on to semifinals. I feel like I'm cursed in playoffs, but maybe this can be my run. Hot stuff. Blaziken. Yeah, no reason to stay in and risk Scarf or anything. As much as I think U-turn comes out, Fini becomes more and more expendable here. That that there isn't a thing. There's no what's it called? There's no Barraskewda. I thought Barraskewda with a choice band ripped me a new one, but he can theoretically P-Jab or Thunder Punch, but I think U-turn is fine from his end, or yeah, but there's no reason to like not scout for Scarf at the very least, and he just U-turns. That's fine. We'll get that back with lefties. 177 to 160. That's 17 damage. Can maybe figure out if he's physical or special. U-turn doing 17 without a life orb, which is the default in the calc. He looks like at least adamant nature he has to be. Yeah. He could go for knockoff theoretically, but I think going hard Shandy is fine. Because it negates like any superpower boosting, and if he's knock, he's knock. If he goes hard for it, when Zama was my pivot last game, good for him. He does knock, good for him. We don't drop to a knockoff singular. And I am Scarf. I'm gonna Energy Ball. I think T-Tar comes in, and I think just getting chip on that is nice. Yeah, that is Tyranitar. But yeah, very strong knock play there when Zama felt more free. I should have just gone Zama, right? Like, I really didn't lose anything by doing that. And that looks to be about 35%, which looks standard with lefties. I go Zama here. And then I can get off like a Howl or something. Howling seems very, very fine. We got a shiny Zama. He just gets rocks up. That's fine. That's our Chandelure becomes a sack theoretically. We have defog on Fini, so it's not impossible. But yeah, I'm just gonna Howl here, especially with Misty Terrain up. You could counter here theoretically, but you're not like Chopple or anything. You just Earthquake. That shouldn't do much damage. That's like damage, but that's not that bad. I will just Behemoth Bash here. Should be pretty good to take you out. Yeah, I'll just Behemoth Bash. It also catches like any pivots that I think could be possible. Damn, I'm on the back foot going hard into my Chandelure. I shouldn't have done that. There was no reason for me to do that. Behemoth Bash. And we should take this thing out. +1. Yeah, okay. When the HP bar goes away, I got nervous for a second, but yeah, he's dead. We will pick up the first kill of this game. And now what? Now what indeed? Hot stuff. Blaziken. Yeah. I really do think you have to be Scarfed here. I'm just going to sack my Chandelure for some momentum. Just try to reset some tempo. Because like Chandelure and then getting an Earthquake from if you don't go fighting move here getting my Mammoth Swine. Seems good. You do go fighting move. You do go close combat. I'll go into my Fini. And I can Fog. Yeah, I don't think I want to deal with rocks this game. They make my pivots a little bit more rough. But I don't think it's the worst. Knock could be my play here. Getting a knockoff. I don't want to give the Lurantis an evasion boost. I'll knock off. What is that? Klefki? Cool. He could be imprisoned default with the spikes, which is a really cool set. I'm just gonna Fog here. If he imprisons hard, he imprisons hard. But if he goes hard Lurantis, that could be also kind of iffy. He spikes up. Okay, cool. I'll Fog. He could be imprisoned Fog, like I said. But and now I can Scald pretty freely. If he goes hard Lurantis, he's risking a Scald burn, which makes that mon very, very easy to deal with. Or easier, at least. I will just Scald. He just continues to spike up. I'm going to Scald twice. Burn would be nice. Not needed, though. Yeah, I'm going to Scald again. I don't want to give Lurantis a boost, and burning it would be huge. He Calm Minds. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm going to Scald once more. So Spikes, Calm Mind, Draining Kiss, Imprison. Crit, please. No crits. That's fine. Draining Kiss is me. See how much this does. That's really not much. Is that more than Scald? No, I don't believe so. He could Calm Mind, but that doesn't really help him here. I believe a Scald should just take him out. Could be Magnet Rise last slot. I don't think it's... He doesn't have the slots for Imprison Fog at this point. He's Calm Mind Draining Kiss. He just gets up more spikes. Good play. I hope I don't kill. If I don't kill, I'm going to Fog. We do take it out. On a crit. On Vort. I'll go Yuxi and Toxic the Lurantis, I think. Yeah, going Yuxi and Toxicing the Lurantis seems nice. Yeah, that's a pretty nice Klefki set. Oh, he goes Spectrier. I'm going to knock it. If he's Policy. Good for him. He taunts. That's fine. This does, like, actually, like, some amount of damage. And we get rid of lefties, which is cool. I'll just bait another knockoff. Knocks are being pretty fine. You whisked me, and I dodge. I'm sorry about that, Sven. Yeah. I'm going to Draining Kiss now, because I know that Wisp is coming. And then I can Fog. I can Fog once after this. Just get rid of the spikes for good. Cool. So we put this thing in a range where it can't sub up on us. I'm gonna fog now. If he taunts, he taunts. He does taunt again. That's fine. Doesn't really affect me too much. But at the same time, he's kind of just given me his Spectre for like not a lot of value. So I'll take that. I'm just gonna Scald. Prevents like a hard Lurantis or anything. He just hexes. I'll chew this. Cool. That's fine. I really want to be able to push progress with my Mamoswine at this point. I don't think I can. Obviously, if Blaziken ever locks wrong. That's Lurantis. I just go into my Zamazenta here. I think Grass Move comes out, but he could Superpower. He played pretty aggressively with it last time it came in. Obviously, this thing doesn't win or anything raw, which is good. He does Superpower. He's playing very aggressively with this thing. I'm just going to CC, get my damage off. And if I crit, I crit. Which would be huge. But yeah. I do not crit. He just Superpowers again. How much is Mamoswine doing here? That's like enough where I'm comfortable sacking Mamoswine for chip on this, unfortunately. And if I get an Icicle Crash flinch, good for me. But I think I need to do that at this point. Yeah, I just crash. And if I crit, which is nice. Please crit. Please flinch. Please. Okay, we do connect. That wasn't anything worth me asking for from the game. Flinch? Any flinchers? Just Superpowers, that's fine. He crits me. +3 UC Ice Punch does kill max defense. So, I can do that. Yeah, I can just Ice Punch. G-Bro could be kind of scary here. G-Bro's actually kind of scary here. I have Fini, Yuxi, Zarude, and Fini, Yuxi, Zarude, and do I have another? No, I don't. Fuck. I think I just U-turn into Fini. I could lose to G-Bro, huh? Fuck. I should have just Ice Punched. That was a bad play. I should have just Ice Punched for as much chip as possible. I lose. Damn. I'm so fucking cursed in playoffs. I feel like I never win playoff games. Damn. And I thought my prep was solid. I shouldn't have just gone into my Chandelure so aggressively. I think, yeah. Oh, he's calm-minded. Okay, cool. Wait, we might have a shot. I need to knock to pop a Colbur. I need to knock to pop Colbur. Knocking, popping Colbur potentially does something for me. He's not Colbur. He's Shuka. Calm Minds again. And then having this thing doesn't really do anything for me at this point. I can just Scald. He just slacks. Yeah. Yeah, I lose. I lose. Unfortunate. Damn, I play so badly in playoffs. He just shell side arms. I need to crit with my Zarude to win, unfortunately. Yeah. You could also just be quick draw, which would be kind of funny. Yeah, he's very physically defensive, which is a good set here. Yeah, good game. I think I would need like a freeze. Damn, dude, I can't fucking win in playoffs. I am so fucking dog shit at Pokemon right now. It's fine. Ah, shit. I did not think he would knock that early with the fucking Lurantis. I felt that was way too aggro, but he played how he needed to. I need to freeze. I should have probably prepped heavier. Okay. If I had Zen on this build, he could have just potentially lost, but I have to Toxic this Blaziken, but he's just going to U-turn. He knocks. Okay. Yeah. That's unfortunate. If I had Zen, maybe I could have had a shot. If I had Zen and I just clicked Zen there, it would have came down to like flinching and stuff, but no. Not this game. I have to like, yeah. Good game. But dude, I'm... Okay, well, maybe. Freeze? Freezers? Any freezers? Any freezers? Okay, you don't need to do this. Like, just kill me. You have a guaranteed win. It's playoffs. You don't need to play for diff. Damn, yeah. I guess I prep for a different 6. What a way to end my fucking career right now, though. Not my career, but like my Wi-Fi gaming. Yeah. Good game. Dude, I don't know what it is. Me in playoffs, just not it. I shouldn't, yeah. I had much easier paths. I just played meh. I don't think I played too poorly. I think he called me out on turns he needed to. But yeah, good games to Sven. Yeah. Channel's going to be dead for a little bit over the summer, and then I'll come back in the fall. Yeah. thank you guys for watching this season. Unfortunately, that's the way it ended. Kind of just like lost momentum that I had. And yeah,